365 days. A lot can happen in that amount of time. That's 365 opportunities to wake up happy, or 365 opportunities to go to bed angry. A lot of life-changing things can happen in a year. And a year ago, my life completely changed. I'm gonna need a coffee if I'm gonna make it through the day and tell this story.
Have a good day.
A year and a couple days ago, I told my fiancee over the phone that I had been laid off, and because of that, I wasn't going to be able to come out and visit her. Literally a couple of days later, she rang me up on a Saturday morning, and we both decided after some discussion that our relationship wasn't sustainable, and the best choice would be to break up. A breakup hits different whenever it's with someone that you've literally been planning your life with, you've been planning a wedding with, you've been deciding what your goals are going to be and how your life is going to look together. And then, in an instant, that all disappears. And I'm a firm believer that there are levels to heartbreak. I mean, there are the mild heartbreaks, like you make plans with somebody and then, oh, okay. There is nothing like experiencing yourself a reality-changing heartbreak. Far more efficient and more teaching than, let's say, a college professor, far more than a mentor. Hi, could I get a, let's do a grande iced caramel macchiato, please?
Everyone was very excited about your voice. You have a good voice.
Really?
Yeah, it's very common. You
Cool
don't
stuff
see
here.
much like life out on the internet
Yeah.
about St. Louis.
That's what I'm saying.
Respect, man.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
It's always a delight meeting people that get excited about YouTube. In this bright future, I heard him say. Right in this very room is where I experienced my one and only reality-changing heartbreak. Right after being laid off, which is reality-changing enough, I became a single man. That reality-changing heartbreak made me question everything. Like, is this salvageable? Is there something I can do to make this right? Is there a way that we can actually make this work? What did I do, or what did I fail to do, to make this relationship not work out? What caused it to fail? Why wasn't I enough? These are the questions that I desperately wanted answers to. And over these past 365 days, I've come to realize that that relationship that I was in, that I thought was the end game relationship, really was just meant to be a huge learning experience for myself. And I don't want to come off as insensitive because, you know, heartbreak is a terrible thing, but I genuinely believe that in order to really grow and develop, somebody has to experience a reality-changing heartbreak. That's my honest opinion. That's just how I feel. So that heartbreak, it showed me that simply love isn't enough to keep together two people. That's not enough to maintain the relationship and make sure that these two are going to successfully navigate a marriage together without it. I think that came out wrong. Basically, what I'm trying to say is love is not enough to hold something together between two people. I mean, this girl and I, we loved each other a whole lot. Like, a lot. But ultimately, it wasn't enough to keep us together. And I mean, basing something on emotion is so unreliable because emotions are so temporary and they're so easily influenced by outside sources that you just can't simply rely on them. That's why I never act instantly and spontaneously now, because whenever you first react to something or you first witness something, your first gut check reaction is emotion. Emotion is the one in the captain's chair, in the pilot's seat, and it's not in, it's controlling everything. Your judgment, your critical thinking and logic, that's taking a back seat. And when your rational thought takes the back seat and your emotions are in charge and piloting, you can make some not so good decisions. And if I'm being honest with you guys, this heartbreak really sank me into a dark place. I mean, it taught me that heartbreak can truly affect you physically, mentally, and emotionally. I mean, physically, my body was tired. I was exhausted all the time, and I didn't really have much of an appetite. And even though I wasn't eating that much, I was still putting on weight. And mentally, I just felt numb. I felt nothing. I mean, I felt like I was living outside of my body, and I was simply watching my physical being experience life and navigate through the day-to-day for me. Things that would typically bring me happiness, they simply weren't doing so. And even back then, I mean, if you go back and watch my YouTube videos from around then, the few that were uploaded, you'll also notice a huge change in demeanor between then and now. And emotionally, there was no emotion. There was no happiness, no sadness, no anger, no frustration. There was nothing. There was a lack of emotion. And it sucked because I would go on dates with girls and they would want me just to share and open up and just share a shred of emotion with them, but I simply wasn't capable of doing so. There was no capacity within me to do that for them. And I'm sorry to the girls that have unintentionally hurt because of that. I just wasn't emotionally available. And healing from this was not something that happened overnight. I mean, the recovery process kind of spilled into the beginning of 2020. You know, that's just honestly when it happened. And I mean, I sit here now in summer 2020 as a totally different person than the one I was a year ago. I've recognized my self-worth. I've recognized the importance of maintaining who you are. And I've also recognized that sometimes things don't go as planned. And that's okay. I mean, sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. You gotta hit and not get hit. Since the breakup, I've grown so much. I've done a lot of things in life just for me. Because at the end of the day, I have to wake up with me, I have to experience life as me, and I'm the person that is closest to me. I have to make sure that I'm good and that I'm happy. And if I'm not, I need to take whatever steps necessary to do what I can to change that. And ever since I've adopted that mindset, my entire outlook has changed on life. And honestly, my perspective inward, even that's changed. And that's where I'm at now, honestly. I mean, I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm more blessed than I've ever been. I mean, I'm just in such a better position than I was a year ago. I have nothing negative to say about my ex. Honestly, if you're watching this, I got nothing bad to say. I mean, all I know is that you were chasing your dream and you did what you felt was right. I mean, who am I to tell you if that's right or wrong? I mean, I hope that you're finding, or at least you're closer to whatever it is you're looking for out of life, honestly. I mean, we were just two people that were crazy about each other and happy together for years, but we just grew in different directions, and that's one example of what a breakup can be. We all go through breakups of some magnitude. We just have to do our best to make sure that they don't break us. So cheers to the 365 days that I've healed and grown as a person, and cheers to the 365 days that I've done so much to improve myself all the way down to the core of my being. And cheers to another 365 days of creating dope shit on YouTube and Instagram, which you should follow, link in the description. How have your past 365 days been? Let me know in the comments below. And have a good one. Have a blessed day. That's my outro. Why didn't I say that? I don't know. This coffee hasn't hit me yet. So, we'll figure it out later.